He approached the table where she was seated, patiently waiting. Her attire was absolutely stunning, even after recently giving birth. She exuded the same beauty and sensuality that she always possessed. It had been several months since he last saw her, and out of nowhere she reached out to him, requesting a meeting to discuss everything and potentially reconcile. And so he found himself face to face with the woman he once loved like no other, until she shattered his heart. After placing our drink orders and exchanging a few strained greetings, he began by bluntly stating, "You mentioned wanting to talk, so go ahead." Stung by his callousness and harshness, the pretty red-haired woman responded coldly, "Have you stopped being angry?" Ignoring her question entirely, he posed his own inquiry, "Why do you want us to get back together?" Caught off guard by his unexpected question, she couldn't help but furrow her brow slightly in response, contemplating and trying to understand the reasoning behind it. Unfortunately, he misinterpreted her expression as one of irritation and disapproval, which only fueled his hidden anger. "Fine, I'm leaving," he declared, preparing to rise from his seat. Nervously, she pleaded, "Wait, stop. Why are you leaving? You just arrived." Her voice trembled slightly as she spoke. "Answer my question and I'll consider staying longer," the man snapped. Gazing into his eyes, she could always discern his mood from their brown depths. However, this time, all she saw was intense anger, and something else she couldn't quite identify. Whatever it was, she sensed it wasn't in her favor. "I miss you. I want to recapture what we had before. I love you. I need you," she pleaded, finding some solace in her response. This reassured the man, causing him to settle more comfortably in his chair. "You didn't need me when you were with him. How can you claim to love me when you lied and deceived me throughout our entire relationship? You were with him, had sex with him, loved him. What kind of nonsense is this?" he retorted, his voice dripping with contempt. Lowering her head in shame, she confessed, "I know. I'm truly sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I wasn't thinking at all." Looking up at him, tears welled up in her eyes. She pleaded, "I'm truly sorry. I promise I won't repeat this mistake ever again. Please just give me another chance." Disgusted by her response, the man shook his head and observed the weeping woman. Once upon a time, her tears would have softened his heart, but now all he felt was a cold anger devoid of any compassion. "I thought you were different," he uttered with disappointment. "I believed that you were genuinely committed to us. I thought my feelings and words mattered to you. I was mistaken. You're just another unfaithful woman." "No, please don't say that. I truly love you. Only you. No one else. Please. I made a terrible mistake. I can't turn back time." "I wish I could, but I can't," she cried in despair. Her words ignited anger within him. After a few moments of her silent tears, he managed to compose himself and tried to calm down. "When we first met, I believed I had found the perfect woman in every aspect. You were the woman I had been searching for my entire life. I had been immersed in the darkness of my job for far too long, and you made me believe that there is still goodness in the world. From that point on, I soared with happiness every day. Then I discovered the truth about him. However, against my better judgment, you convinced me that it was all in the past. I trusted you. Things took a different turn after that, but somehow, we managed to stay together and move forward. I still had my doubts, but I agreed with your explanations. However, this is not the end, as it turns out. You deceived me. You meticulously planned and executed this deceit." The woman groaned as if in agony upon hearing his words. She wanted to deny everything to pretend it never happened, yet the truth was confirmed by undeniable evidence. You gave birth to his child. It wasn't a mistake or a mere accident. It was a deliberate act. It takes careful planning to stop taking birth control and intentionally get pregnant. I highly doubt it happened in one instance. I assume you were with him multiple times until you were certain of your pregnancy, so please explain to me what exactly was the mistake." "I didn't want to. He made me do it," she cried. "He compelled you initially, ensuring that you were not consuming the medication. Perhaps he waited until you began ovulating a few weeks or maybe a couple of months. The man sarcastically remarked, "Is this the story you wish to convey?" Yes. No, I mean he possessed great strength. He refused to accept no as an answer. He constantly desired intimacy. Then he desired a child. Somehow, he discovered my birth control pills and disposed of them in the toilet. These were recently purchased. It was a 90-day prescription that I attempted. I find it hard to believe, he interjected. What do you mean this is true? I am not being dishonest. Listen to yourself. All I hear are excuses. Moreover, they are feeble. How many times did you reject me when I wanted to be intimate with you? I can confidently say that this occurred more than once, and if my memory serves me right, you even went as far as convincing me that no means no. How frequently did this occur? Why? Let me contemplate. More often than we engaged in sexual activity, so why not employ the same tactics with him? Explain it to me. She glanced around, her gaze unfocused, attempting to gather her thoughts. His inquiries were piercing. Why did she allow herself to be coerced? Why didn't she refuse him? I don't know. I believe that I don't know is not an acceptable response. The man's voice grew louder than intended, noticing that several restaurant patrons turned their heads towards their table. In a calmer tone, he continued. Why didn't you refuse him? Ha? What power does he hold over you that you blindly comply with his demands? I truly apologize. I don't know. Perhaps it's because he commands, she cautiously explained, almost with a sense of fear. Oh, but not me. Am I not the dominant type? That's enough, the man hissed in anger. No, that's not the point. You are loving. You don't force yourself upon others. You give. You are kind, caring, and gentle. You listen to me and do not impose yourself on me. That's why I love you so deeply. It brought me immense joy when you were in his bed and not in mine, knowing that you could leave him at any moment. Did he make physical threats? No. Did he hold you against your will? No. Indeed, you intentionally chose to remain with him, correct? Please, why are you treating me as if I am a criminal? Your behavior resembles that of a prosecutor in a courtroom. I implore you to cease this. Can't you see that it also causes me pain? The man's eyes widened and his nostrils flared as his anger threatened to erupt. However, he visibly composed himself, making a conscious effort to regain control. I am a criminal lawyer. Have you forgotten this fact? Although you did not break any laws by being involved with him and having his child, you did break your promise to me. How am I supposed to feel? You professed your love for me. You expressed your desire for us to build a family together. Why did you want to have children with me? To spend your entire life by my side? And what a fool I was to believe your empty words. So please enlighten me on how I should respond to your betrayal, he said with a cruel laugh. And how have I caused you any pain? I refuse to take back a deceitful woman. Upon hearing his words, her eyes welled up with tears, obstructing her view of him. Her shoulders trembled from the sudden anguish. He was right. She couldn't deny the truth in his words. She admitted this and continued. Can't you grant me another chance? I will never see him again, I promise. I will be solely devoted to you. Please, I beg of you. I love you. I didn't realize the depth of my feelings until you stopped contacting me and we ceased seeing each other. I have missed you immensely during these past months and my heart aches constantly. Please, my love, I now understand that you are the only man for me. You will always be. Do you desire another opportunity? The man asked thoughtfully, his mouth twisting cruelly. Very well. Here is your chance. Rid yourself of the child. Convey to him directly that you despise the fact that he made you give birth. Express your hatred towards everything about him, including his child, and never have any contact with him or his child. He spoke with sharp intensity. If you do this, maybe we will have a chance. We will relocate and start anew. I am an exceptional lawyer. His words left her stunned, even appalled. The idea of abandoning her own son, of harboring such hatred towards her own flesh and blood, made her physically ill. She couldn't bear the thought of giving up on her child. In that moment, she realized the gravity of the situation. He was going to leave her. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. How had it come to this? She knew she had made mistakes, but she had hoped he would forgive her. Overwhelmed with despair, she began to sob uncontrollably. "Stop that," he commanded, his voice filled with annoyance. "Stop crying, or I'll walk out right now." Through her tears, she pleaded. "I'm sorry, please, I'll stop." But deep down, she knew she couldn't. He was her son. Regardless of who his father was, she couldn't bear to part with him. "Please don't ask me for this," she begged. "Please, I'll do anything else. I'll be your servant. I'll give you something else, another child, your own son, but not this, please." Shaking his head, the man rose from his seat. "No, it's either this or nothing," he declared. "You brought this upon yourself. You deceived me. You thought you could have it all, but you were wrong. I won't raise another man's child. And clearly, I won't have to." With a heavy heart, he bid her farewell. "Goodbye," she pleaded, desperately trying to salvage their relationship. But he was resolute. "We have nothing left to wait for," he replied coldly. "You've made your choice. It's over. Go back to him. Return to your husband." With those final words, he walked away, leaving her behind in the restaurant, consumed by heartbreak.